Abbott Elementary Season 4, Episode 1, Back to School is over, but school is back in session here at Recap Kickback's Abbott Elementary, a Post Show Recaps. Yes, that's right. We're back here on Recap Kickback. It's me, your host, Chappell, and we will be talking about Season 4 of Abbott Elementary. We know y'all have been waiting for it, and so I'm very happy to bring it back to you here on the Kickback. Hopefully you're catching this on our YouTube channel, Recap Kickback, or youtube.com/@Recap Kickback, or on our new fancy Abbott Elementary podcast feed. We know Abbott, but if you are not, get familiar with my co-host, my lovely co-host here, Principal Gia Worthy. Gia, we back, baby.
We are back. Oh my God, I am so excited. Remember television that you didn't have to wait a million years for? Abbott is doing all the good things right now. All the good things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thank God, right? Like I think we can have the best show to recap because this is like the only show that we're like, hey, it's coming back. It's got some black folks in it, and it's coming back. We know it's coming back.
Abbott Elementary checks all of my boxes. Know it's coming back. It's coming back not several years from now. Like I do not have to wait 2 to 3 years, Bridgerton, for a new season. What else is that? It's got black people. We love when a show has black people as the main characters.
Yes.
Also a plus. And it's got Quinta Brunson. Like,
yeah.
Hello.
What's not to love?
What other show is doing it like that? Exactly.
Yeah. So if you're new here, we cover a lot of different things on Recap Kickback. Black entertainment news every week with me and my co-host Mari. We do recaps of television and movies. But Gia and I have been holding down the fort here for the number one, as far as I'm concerned, Abbott Elementary Recap Podcast here. So make sure you're tuned in. You subscribe to the podcast so that you can get our weekly updates. Bi-weekly updates, because we're going to be bringing you episodes every other week. So we're doing the premiere this week, episode 1, and then 2 weeks from now we'll be back to talk about episodes 2 and 3, so on and so forth. Because Abbott is giving us full-length seasons as well, 22 episode seasons and stuff, y'all. So this isn't like them other shows. This is a different type of animal. This is Abbott Elementary. So we're trying to cover it the best we can here on Recap Kickback and talk through all of the shenanigans of this amazing show. Gia, when we last left, we were talking about all the will days and won't days of season 3. But since we've been gone, we've heard some good news about this upcoming season of Abbott Elementary. There will be a crossover episode with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Are you ready for this?
I was shocked because, and I was actually talking about this with someone last night, because I was so excited to be able to start the new season of Abbott Elementary, right? But even before it was announced, a lot of people made the connection that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, given the title of the show, also set in Philadelphia, would be a great show to do a crossover with. And I love both shows, but I also think they're just very different in their humor and the audience that they are intended for, that I just did not see realistically that being a crossover, a show that we were going to have a crossover with. Now that it's happening, I am very excited, and I have full faith in both shows' creators and writers that we're going to have an incredible episode here. So I'm not worried about it at all. I just, you know, those things are like, that just sounds too good to be true. Like, logically, it doesn't make sense. But I am so excited for a It's Always Sunny and Abbott Elementary crossover. I need Mr. Johnson to meet the Always Sunny in Philadelphia cast. I just need that in my soul.
Yeah, I've been trying to speculate and think about how does this crossover even work. And for a while, I was like, I don't know if they're just going to end up at a shady bar in Philly, or like, I doubt that Always Sunny people are going to end up at Abbott Elementary, but who knows? We got white kids at Abbott now, Gia, so anything could happen.
They're being audited. Listen,
or it's a ghost.
I know it could be a ghost, but I think they are genuinely being audited. I think all this golf course stuff is just a load of crap. It's not actually happening. It's just a ruse to get down to, they started picking up on the fact that, maybe Ava is getting a little luxurious with her school expenses. I love that private bathroom.
Yeah, this could be bad, but It's okay because that It's Always Sunny crossover episode is going to be great when we get to it. But I do want to segue right into our episode, Back to School. I mean, it's a very fitting episode, obviously, because school is back in session. Abbott, the podcast, our podcast is back in session as well. And we have the kids coming back to Abbott Elementary and Janine and Gregory back with some big news. So just to get in front of the big white elephant in the room, there are white kids at Abbott now because shenanigans are ensuing in Philly. There is a golf course moving into town, and it is causing a lot of construction and a lot of people who are not necessarily from West Philly moving to the area. And now, Gia, I don't want to admit this, but it took this episode to alert me to the idea that there were no white kids at this school. I had not realized that there was not one white kid present in the last 4 seasons. This is crazy.
I'm going to be honest with you. I also did not make that connection. And I went to school with a lot of white kids. Okay. Like, this was not like the Abbott Elementary setup was not my norm in school. So I don't even have an excuse.
Yeah.
It did not process to me that there was just simply no white kids in any of the classrooms that we have seen in, now 4 seasons. And the minute that little Charlie shows up at Abbott, I'm like, well, that's different. And
Yeah.
apparently it was intentional because now we are getting a little brighter, a little lighter at Abbott
Mhm.
Elementary. And you know what? Good for them.
Yeah.
Good
Look
for
at
them.
that.
We love a diverse community.
Ava makes sure to point out that Abbott is a very diverse school. At least it is now. And so, yeah, I don't know how they managed to sneak that past me. I grew up in predominantly Black schools, Black and Hispanic schools. My college was a historically Black college. So I'm very used to being in spaces where there's just like no other white kids, but there's always some other white kids.
Yeah.
Make no mistake. Even at my historically Black college, there were some white kids, and it wasn't like they were looked at any differently. Nobody thought they were ghosts or we were being audited. It's just that they were the majority population around us. But to not have one student, it really did just kind of slip my mind until they brought it up here when little Charlie and his family are here, based on the proximity to this new golf course. So it was a very funny opening scene. I think probably one of the best ones. I mean, we've had some really good openers in Abbott, and this is another banger.
This was very, very good because I saw the little intro part at the very beginning and was like, this is ridiculous. There's no way they are topping some of the openers that they have had in the past season, but just everybody's reaction, even the white staff was confused by what was going on here. And it was great. It was fantastic. I love this cast. They play off each other so well, and this is just full proof of it.
Yeah, that storyline I'm sure is going to loom large throughout. Maybe not little Charlie himself, but the golf course is highly affecting everything around Abbott. What's up?
I liked little Charlie and his parents, like they want to give public school a try, and you know what? Good
Yeah,
for them.
they were.
I love someone that tries,
Well, that's the thing. They were told over and over again, like, don't do public school, don't do public school, do private school, do private school, do private school. But then we see what's happening at Abbott, and then you start to wonder, okay, do these private school people have a point? Because is the private school without water? Is the private school without gas due to this, thing? Like, if this is Charlie's introduction to being at a predominantly Black school, the city is making us look really bad.
That the Rihanna gif where it's like, this is ghetto as hell. That's gonna be Charlie.
Shit I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
Yes. That's about to be Charlie throughout this whole season. But you know what? We stand a little man that's trying his best.
Yeah, look, he's a freedom fighter of his own. Charlie's here to break down color barriers and glass ceilings. Hopefully, I mean, we see Ava try it at the end, or Barbara tried it at the end. Like, we have a white student now, so get this together. They will call the manager. Okay, they will get this shut down. So
they will get their lawyers on the phone.
We obviously will not, but hopefully Charlie and his family will. After they're done auditing us. So the golf course is being a detriment to everybody. It's causing traffic. It's causing rodents. I think they said there were like more like bugs now,
yes.
Cockroaches. Mr. Johnson counted 31 or 32 cockroaches in one day that he had killed. I don't, it's tough because this season it's clear that the big bad is going to be either this golf course or at the very least this lawyer that we meet in this episode, Miles Nathaniel, who is coming to make sure that I guess nobody is complaining too much about this shady golf course that's affecting the neighborhood. But these kids have to go to school, Gia. They were feeding them frozen chicken nuggets and they didn't have a choice.
A kid lost a tooth to
Yeah.
the frozen
And
chicken nuggets.
there was a lot of blood.
Wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. And oh my God, like this is a lot. And not to mention like golf courses in general are just an environmental nightmare, which they did not really get into this episode. Which I'm not surprised by because obviously we have the immediate impacts in the school, but I have a feeling they are going to be going in the direction of like what the consequences of gentrification are on underserved communities like Philadelphia or West Philly specifically in this instance. So I think we are about to get kind of like the sitcom tries gentrification type in like this could be a very special episode type vibe to it. So I'm excited to see where it goes here, but I do think that this is probably going to be our big bad of the season, or at least one of them, depending on how long they want to stretch out this storyline with the golf course. I envision it being somewhere along the lines of Legendary Charter from season 2, where they didn't come up every episode, but they were definitely a through line throughout the second season and somebody that we had to keep in mind as we were going through the season.
Yeah, to me, this is going to be a really big deal just because they can't do normal things that a school can do. You know, they have to serve lunches, and the best they could do is ice cold chicken nuggets. Mr. Morton is back, you know, which is always good to see, but he doesn't have any gas for his Bunsen burners either. You know, even though he was using it to make breakfast, he still doesn't have any gas for it, damn it. And so we can't go on like this. We can't keep living like this.
Can we talk about Mr. Morton coming back in the first episode for a second? Because I'm very excited about Mr. Morton being back. I feel like they are starting to find what they want to use him for. Like, what is his place in this group? And like, we've had a couple recurring cast members that are like Abbott Elementary staff. Shanae was also there. I love Shanae. Anytime Shanae is in an episode, it's a banger. The cafeteria staff, some of my favorite people that we get in the Abbott Elementaries for the side characters, are very giving like warehouse workers, but like we get 3 Daryls, like 3 stars instead of just the 1 star. And within the warehouse workers in the office. But I kind of love that they have Mr. Morton here. And like, it's not just the one-off character, that we are actually getting him bantering, not just with Jacob, but with the rest of the cast as well. So I'm very excited. I like more Mr. Morton, please. And just who he is, even if he is like half of this is fighting with our main cast of characters here.
Yeah, I like that they brought in Mr. Morton, and I actually have a theory about why. I mean, obviously he's a funny character, but I think that, and we haven't really talked about the big news from this back to school episode, but I think that you kind of need somebody for Jacob to talk to now. You know, Melissa and Barbara are kind of like a pair. Ava does her own thing. She's the principal. She doesn't have time for these people. Mr. Johnson is too busy making sure the school is busy, you know, and running safely and all that good stuff.
Being the glue of the school, we can say it.
Precisely. And Jacob usually has Janine to play off of. And now it seems like our girl is a little busy because we get the reveal that, you know, her and Gregory are still going strong. And
when they opened it saying they just tried to be friends, I am so glad I paused for effect, because I was about to punch. I've never wanted to punch a television more. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It was violent. It got violent for a second.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I fell for it too. They said, yeah, you know, we gave it a shot, and we just decided that we're probably better off as friends. And I was just thinking, again, we're doing this again. I can't do this again. I cannot do this one more time. Because what are we going to do this time? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we going to go sit with the idea that this doesn't work? No, we actually get the exact opposite. They have been dating, and it is the most precious, adorable thing that I've ever seen in my life. They are like just made for each other. They're doing all the cutesy dates and they're flirting with each other in the hallway, but they're keeping it top secret to remain professional. Gia, I love this because I feel like since it is the exact opposite of what I thought, they're going so far in the direction of their dating. Like it is almost disgusting how cute they are.
They are so cute. And I kind of love how they kicked it off for us because I think that's something that we were both wondering as well. Like, how are they going to treat the Gregory Janine relationship now that they are officially together? Right. And
Mm-hmm.
because we've had 3 seasons of will they, won't they? And it's fun, but now we need to have a conclusion of they will or they will not. And now we have the answer, they will. But what does this look like moving forward? And so far it's a very cute, very healthy relationship. They're doing all the cutesy things that we imagined they would be doing. And they have disagreements in how they are communicating about their relationship, but it's not anything that makes it feel like this is an unhealthy relationship. They do communicate with each other. They have a miscommunication at the beginning of the episode, or just a different approach to how they view their relationship being public to the school themselves. And they're able to work through it in a realistically healthy manner. And I love that for them. I do not want them to ruin the Janine and Gregory that we know and love by them being in a relationship.
Oh yeah, big agree. My favorite thing about it though is that it's like almost like the positive of like the toxic positivity of the relationship, because it's affecting everybody around them. They're having this secret relationship and just completely just giving each other the bedroom eyes the whole time. Like it's very cute, but everybody else around them is looking on with disgust almost, because one, why do y'all think we don't know about this relationship? Like it's all over your face. And then two, you're doing this right in front of Ava. Like your situationship hasn't even ended. Like, Gregory, what are you doing?
Like, you really gonna tell your other girl about your current girl? Like, what are you doing? Can't
right in front
stand
of her
you.
salad? Yeah, come
right
on now.
salad.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a little much when it comes to the relationship. But again, we've been begging for this for 4 seasons, so it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
Lean in, and then you can reel it back in later on.
Side note, though, absolutely more confessionals with Melissa, Barbara, and Ava all together, because it was quite a powerful trio there.
The big 3 for real. Yeah. When they came in, it was like, hey, this relationship, we know about it. Who do they think they are? We would know. We're never going to miss anybody if they're hunching so powerfully or something like that. Whatever she said, I said, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Ava, Melissa, and Barbara, of course, is like, that's just a threesome that you want on like the confessional every time, because they're so funny. And they are watching Janine and Gregory almost like from the outside in, but just like as they've been like overseeing the relationship, and waiting on them to come clean. Janine doesn't quite want to at first. She's thinking, all right, let's keep this under wraps. Let's be private about this. Let's just be in a relationship together. We don't need everybody else involved. But due to certain policies, it might be important for them to disclose this relationship so that they don't get in any trouble. In comes Ava and the return of HR from the district, Warren. Gee, I was so happy to have Warren back.
I love Warren. He is a professional hater.
Yes.
Always someone that is good to have, not just in the workplace, because I love a professional hater that I can compare notes with, we will say. Not gossip, that's unprofessional. We compare notes. He was so funny in the few scenes we got him in season 3. So I don't know how often we are going to be seeing Warren in season 4, but I think they picked up on the fact that we really liked Warren, and that is part of the reason why he made this return. And I would love to see him be a recurring character.
Yeah, no, this is Ben Onyx Downey, and I've never I think that Abbott does a really good job of giving us just guest like stars that just come in and just steal the screen, steal the moment. And I just don't think I thought we could come back from somebody like Tariq or even like Zach, where it's like hey, this person is just a star. But Warren is a star, coming onto the screen and immediately just shading Janine for saying, oh, yeah, we really thought you were going to be a district diva, but you didn't make it. You left us high and dry. And just reminding her over and over again, remember the time you quit and it didn't work out for you? Remember that? It's starting to get into Janine's head because she's thinking, well, if I can make that work, how do I make a relationship work? I said, I needed this. I needed this type of energy.
Yep. Just never underestimate the power of a true hater. A true hater. Like, I want to apprentice with you, Warren. I am deeply invested in your work.
Yes, one of our favorites for sure. We need to get a guest. Let's see if we can get a bit Onyx Downing on it as a guest on the podcast. I'm gonna start. I got
a list.
Yeah,
I got a list.
DM. Oh yeah, you got a list. Like,
I got a list.
Not the main cast, because we can't. No. I mean, what you thinking? What you thinking for our list?
100% Zach Fox. I know Vince Staples is, pretty busy. He's got his own show now, but I still want Vince Staples. He wasn't my favorite character, but he had some laughs in there. So we got to get Vince Staples on.
Larry freaking Owens.
Larry Owens. That was the next one I was going to say. Larry Owens. Come on down, sir, please. Cree Summers. Oh wait, I know we are perhaps maybe not the we are not at Cree Summers level, but we could be. I could be on my best behavior for Cree Summers.
I would behave for Cree. And only for Cree. Just for Cree. Exactly.
And what is the actress's name that plays Shanae? Because
an icon. She doesn't know how much we love her. That's a problem.
I know. The Shanae and the other main cafeteria worker that I don't know what their names are, but I love them and I just want like a roundtable discussion with them.
Yes. Hold on. I'm looking this up. London Covington, I believe, is Shanae. Or no, I think that might actually be. Hold on, let me see. No, that's not Shanae. I'm gonna find this because we gotta start to find our Abbott supporting cast and give them the flowers that they deserve, because I feel like they're not getting them.
So okay, wait. So I found one. Yep.
Okay.
Shanae and Devon they're literally listed as underpaid cafeteria workers at Abbott Elementary. They want to let us know they are underpaid in their titles, but it is Nakia Gamby Turner and Reggie Conquest are the actors that play them.
Come say hi to your family here at Abbott Elementary Post Show Recap on Recap Kickback, okay? Because we need these interviews. We need these guests because they're stealing the show. I thought this was such a cool appearance for Warren, having them back on the show, obviously as one of Janine's haters, but also the HR person who, the show is often compared to the Office. We'll bring it up from time to time. But this is the most positive light we've seen in HR in one of these mockumentary style shows, because The Office gave a very bad light to Toby, who was just trying to do his job. I'm 1000% behind Warren on this one. Disclose the relationship, do the paperwork. Let's move on.
I have one more.
Ooh,
Raven Goodwin.
Who is Raven Goodwin?
She played the mother with the bitch tattoo on.
Yes. We should have got her first.
Formerly Disney legend.
Yes, I remember her. I don't even know why I didn't put from Just Jordan. I remember she was in the Clark Sisters. Oh yeah, this is it.
Remember Just Jordan? That was good. I like her. That was a good one. Yes, right. But yes.
Our listeners, reach out to these people for us. Just at them. Just at them, get us on their radar, let them know. Recap Kickback at Recap Kickback. We're here trying to get these Abbott stars, their flowers that they deserve. Now, if you could get the big names, for sure, come on. Come on. Everybody's welcome here. We'll do a whole panel discussion, but we got to give these people their flowers. Gia.
Yes, we want to get as many. Listen, we love the main cast, but we love the side characters too. So we want to get as many of them on as we possibly can.
Yeah, because they really are pulling a lot of weight here. Now, Gregory and Janine eventually they come to an impasse because Janine has to do her presentation for the staff. I'm not quite sure what the point of these presentations are, Gia, because Barbara does hers on boogers.
Yeah, I was very confused by Barbara's because I thought it was going to be about, what did she say? It was
she said math has changed.
Yes, math has changed.
Real culprit here. Mm-hmm.
But it became about boogers and saliva, I think was the
Yeah.
other.
Its
Yeah, which
consistency has
I
changed. It's a lot.
I get that because of the grade level she teaches at. I assume there is
Mm.
a lot of that around there. Oh my god, kids are so gross.
Kids are
Um,
nasty.
I know they're oh god. I get
Mhm.
Ava's opinion of kids, like
Mhm.
just that I'll leave it at that. And so I understand that, but also what am I supposed to do about the milk consistency at Abbott
Yeah.
Elementary? That seems like a district/cafeteria, underpaid cafeteria worker investigation to have. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Get Shanae on the phone, and maybe she could talk this through.
I feel like if they paid Shanae more, she'd have the answers to this in 10 seconds flat. Like, I think she would genuinely, she strikes me as someone that works the level that she is getting paid. So,
Mhm.
but she
A
is
queen.
clearly very smart and very well-rounded individual, and we love her dearly. So, like, if you paid her more, you probably get higher quality work as well.
Look at that. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just let that
She
sink
probably
in.
She'd probably solve half the district's. She probably knows how to reactivate the water pressure, and you could have done if you paid her water pressure money.
Mhm. Have you tried paying these people water pressure money?
Mhm.
We'll see.
I'm just saying.
So Janine's presentation has to happen, but she doesn't have it. She left it at home, and so she has a quick meeting with Gregory and Jacob as she's asking Gregory, "Okay, what do I do? I can't do my presentation. I don't have my stuff." Gregory suggests, "I'll go to your house and get it," and she plants a kiss on his cheek. Now, there's a really funny part where Jacob goes to wipe the lipstick off of Gregory's cheek with his
I
saliva.
Yes. I know we are probably going to have more Jacob and Morton interactions because of the new relationship this season. However, please keep as many Gregory and Jacob
Mhm.
interactions in as much as possible because they are a very underrated duo.
Yeah, Jacob is the biggest cheerleader for this relationship. He's the only one who publicly knows that it's happening. Everybody else is just kind of looking, going, shaking their head the whole time because it's highly inappropriate sometimes for you to be doing things like this, especially without disclosing them to HR. But Gregory's stepping up into his role as, her friend boy. I think at this point, I mean, I don't think they had said the words. By the end of the episode, they will declare each other boyfriend and girlfriend, but at this point, he's just being a really, really good friend to her by going to pick up her presentation and deliver it right in the middle of the staff meeting. And the rest of the teachers are perfect. This is why this show works to me, Gia, is that when things like this happen, the show just finds a joke and they don't let up because
Yes.
Gregory's showing up and saying like, "Oh yeah, I brought you this from your house, from your kitchen." "Oh, well, why are you in her kitchen?" "Well, how did you get to her house?" "Well, why did you go in her room?" "Well, why are you so sweaty?" "Well, why were y'all getting out the car?" Well, Mr. Johnson jumped in. I was dying, Gia.
I knew it. You were doing drugs.
We're not doing drugs. We're having sex. I was like, Janine, what is happening? And Mr. Johnson's response to that being, I knew it. People would do anything for money. Took me down.
I screamed. It was too much. I think he had a total of like 5 lines this whole episode, but they were quality content, let me tell
Yes.
you.
What do you think about this? This very public secret relationship being outed in front of everybody, and Janine's just, um, I mean, she's just relentless in trying to keep this a secret. I mean, where it's very clear that they have been found out. How'd you think? What'd you think about this scene?
I mean, I totally get it. Like, I hate people knowing my business. Like, this. Stop it. Okay, stop it. What do you need to know? What do you need to
Right.
know,
Whatever you
HR?
thought you saw, you didn't see anything.
You didn't
Okay.
see any. Keep it to yourself, okay? I'm
Mhm.
not in your business. Why are you in my business? That type of deal. So I totally get that. I would say just rule of thumb, keep it to yourself for unless it's a job you really like. So in this instance, like Janine probably should have reported it because she really likes her job. But if this was like just a job,
Eh.
then like, do
Mm,
you really need to let HR know? Like, is it really worth all that paperwork? I don't know. That's just
doubt
my
it.
personal opinion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The cat is out of the bag, but she wants to coax it back into the bag. And Gregory seems like he's okay with it not being out of the bag. He's like, "Hey, your last relationship was your last relationship. This is your current relationship, and we're not gonna have those problems." I said, "Oh, Oh yeah, he's packing her up. This is done.
Mhm.
Go ahead
It's
and
done.
propose. It's a
He
wrap.
said, "It is a done deal." Listen, "You are stuck with me now." That's basically
Yeah.
what he said. And I love that. You can tell Gregory's been ready to tell
Mhm.
people. Like, this is very much a Janine concern with it. And I totally understand Janine's perspective on this of not wanting to let everybody know, but also, girl, like, there were some inconsistencies in here because your last relationship was started in 8th grade. So you're really telling me you're sad about breaking off a relationship from 8th grade? It was in 8th grade. Like, grow up,
Yeah.
Janine. Come on now.
I agree with you so much. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Because she
Yeah.
says, the last time I made it official, it didn't work out. And I just don't want this to not work out. And I was like, Janine, y'all were together for like 15 years. I think
I
it
think
worked out.
I think
It just
people
ended.
were waiting for it to finally stop working out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If anything, it worked out for far too long and then
Yeah.
it just didn't. But 15 years is solid. I mean, it's not like the relationship, the person that you died with, but you were also in 8th grade when you met this person. And that person was also Tariq. No
Yeah.
disrespect to Tariq, but also, come on, what are you doing? So
We
this is
love
not the
Tariq,
same.
but this is a little
Yeah.
much. So, come
Right.
on now.
She's being ridiculous. Gregory made her feel okay about it. You know, he really got that Mac Daddy mentality when he comes to her. He's like, oh, come here, give me a hug in front of all these people, blah, blah, blah.
And he, instead of judging her reasoning like we are doing,
We are.
but like that's our job. So,
Mhm.
we're not Gregory. He supported her, but also showed his side of things and wanted to let her know that he is not worried about this relationship. And I think she really needed to hear that he is confident in this relationship for her to be confident in that relationship.
Right. It also doesn't help that she already announced to everybody that they were having sex. You know, like
Yeah, I
she
mean,
did that
like,
already.
good for them.
Mhm.
So happy for them. I'm glad that we
Congrats.
know we don't have to worry about, have they done it yet? Although we
Yeah,
saw that kiss. We know what
we knew.
happened. We know
We
what
knew. Right
happened when the
thing.
shades went down. Like,
Happened that night. Mhm.
we're adults. We're adults. That night, that hour,
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
But anyway, I'm glad they have a healthy sex life. However, I would drown myself in the non-existent water tanks downstairs that are not doing shit if I announced all my coworkers who I was having sex with.
Yeah. Yeah. She already
For
did it. The cat's
Yeah,
out of the bag.
like,
It was
rocks
done.
in my pockets, in the water tank,
Throw me in the
never hear
river.
from me
Yeah.
again. Like, this is
Off the
it.
pier.
Yep,
Yeah.
off the pier.
Yeah. This was a big moment. It's Janine basically coming to terms with their relationship, but also the fact that it's already out. So you kind of have to either own to it, or just be like, hey, never mind. We were doing that, but we're gonna stop because it's inappropriate. I won't say what they're doing is inappropriate inherently, but they are openly flirting in front of the kids at this point. You know, like the
Yeah.
kids at Abbott, although this is a school that is probably a little bit underfunded, and by a little bit I mean a lot, these kids are very sharp, and so there's no way that everybody in the school does not know this is happening. Everybody's probably been waiting on it, just like how we were as well. So it's time to just come clean. So they end up going to Warren and having to break it down exactly how we ended up here. And I think Janine went back a little too far. She was like, it started back when I was in high school or something. I was like, all right, what's happening?
Go through from the moment they met and then went further back to when she first hit puberty. I
Mhm.
don't need to know all that. And Warren was not having it. He does
No,
not like Janine enough to be dealing with all of this.
no, but
Yep.
they had to say it. They had to
Yep.
define the relationship, and Janine and Gregory both claim that they are each other's significant others, and so this is not them just having sex or doing drugs. They are in a relationship. We've got
Can you
our
imagine if they
OTP.
tried to make this a situationship to start first and then go into a relationship? I would fight the writers on site.
I would love to see it. It would have been funny. It would
No,
have been hilarious because
mm,
neither one of them can handle that energy. I
no.
know it.
They are not
Um,
situationship type people, and if they
no.
try to do that, it is on site with these writers.
Remember that time Gregory thought she was dating someone else, or
Went on a date with someone else.
a date with Manny, and he about lost it, and they had no physical relationship to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they couldn't handle a situationship,
Absolutely not. They are
but
not they are not meant for they are not strong enough for, something of that nature. We will leave it at that.
We will leave it at that.
Mhm.
So after the DTR, we see them go off into the sunset. We will see if this ends well. I mean, there's no way it doesn't. Abbott is just one of those feel good shows. I don't see this not ending in just like some very big, whirlwind romance. It's probably going to have its ups and downs or whatever. But I think that a lot of the viewers, including us for sure, are going to be very happy that we finally got the couple that they've been promising us for so long. Jim and Pam, who?
Jim,
Who?
just saying, if Janine wanted to go to art school, I think Gregory would be a lot more supportive of it. Just saying.
Just saying, just
Just
saying.
saying. Mhm.
Um, we do have another funny moment with HR. Jacob and Mr. Morton are HR, and I don't even know if there's anything to clear up here. It's just Jacob wanted to come tell them that Mr. Morton
Yeah,
was
he
a
doesn't.
scumbag. Like, I don't like that man.
And Mr. Morton is sitting down, like he was fully prepared to have just like a regular meeting. I do not know what they told to them to get them there. But Jacob is just, I do not like this person, which Jacob, I admire the pettiness here, right? Like that.
Mhm.
Also a professional hater when he wants to be. And it was great. And I'm glad that they are building up on this. Like, oh, by the way, if you thought that they were on good terms, they aren't. Like, this
They're
is
not.
we are continuing this trend of them hating each other, and that's not an HR issue, right? Like, that's not something that HR needs to know about. You just still have to do your jobs in separate classrooms and be on your way. But you know what? I love a hate relationship. Let's just keep it going.
Yeah, but you know what is an HR issue? What Melissa doing to Mr. Johnson? What's going on here? This is new information.
She wants him.
She wants him.
And he thinks she's sick. She thinks she's
Yeah.
sick with how she's it. All of the to-go menus, and it was quite an eclectic mix of to-go menus. Chinese food, pizza. I think I saw like cheesesteak menu in there.
Mhm.
Something. She was relentlessly pursuing him, and Mr. Johnson's about had it, and I'm glad that is being brought to HR so that they can address this issue head on, because we want people to feel safe in the workplace, of course.
Yeah, this came straight out of left field for me. I just, of all the things Mr. Johnson was going to complain about, I never thought it would have been like, yeah, Melissa's been hitting on me. But it was funny. I love how they keep shaking it up, because Melissa and Mr. Johnson, that's an underrated pair that we've seen before on Abbott.
Every time they have been in a pair together for something, it is so funny. The episode where they're reading Kindred, or was it Parable of the Sower? It's Octavia Butler book.
Yeah. I think it was Parable of the Sowing.
Yeah, Parable of the Sower.
The Sower,
when they were reading Parable of the Sower and they teamed up as the by any means necessary apocalyptic duo. Cinema. Fantastic television. I would follow them both to the ends of the earth. So they are an incredible duo. Mr. Johnson plays well on everybody in Abbott, but I think him and Melissa as a pair in all situations are just always going to be a funny time.
It's just they got like a similar energy,
Yeah, they match each other's freak, if I be so bold.
No, that sounds about right. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. The one other thing that I kind of glossed over earlier that I wanted to talk about is our villain, of course. His name is Miles Nathaniel, and he is the lawyer for this golf course. Melissa, in her infinite wisdom, has gone in and found out that they're doing some shady dealings. They're using scabs, they're non-union workers, they're cutting corners. It's getting nasty, and Abbott is, and a lot of the city as well, is really taking on the brunt of the consequences from this new golf course. But Miles approaches the teachers at Abbott, and he's like, hey, let's talk about the benefits of this golf course. We can make the property value go up for people who are homeowners who live here, and that will allow you to be able to go on vacations to, I don't know, Arizona. And Barbara, her face will lighten up because he's speaking directly to what she's interested in. They're also talking about maybe getting unionized, which would, of course, go against everything that we know about them right now, is that they're not using union workers. And so it sounds good, but then they start to slip into other things, right? I think they slipped Melissa a $500 gift card, which, of course, keep the money coming. We do like the money. But it's becoming a little bribey, Gia. The golf course is trying to make this Abbott thing go away.
Yes, they are. And, it's it's hard to say no to what they are saying because for a school like Abbott Elementary who have struggled financially, not just to make ends meet, like forget using any extra money that they get to do extra for their students, to give them more than what is absolutely necessary. So something like 25 new computers, well, it was at first 15, then up to 20, and I think they settled on 25 in there.
And some ergonomic chairs.
And an ergonomic chair, yes. And it's really hard for a school that is used to barely getting by, if you can even call it that in some situations, to say no to something that is a real game changer there.
What do you think about the decision to take the bribe? Are they even taking the bribe? Because Ava don't care. Ava said, "Do whatever you want. Just you know."
She just wants something for herself in the deal, and who can blame her? You know?
Yeah.
I love them getting a little shady, you know me. Like, this is great, and I would expect nothing less from a show that really has drawn a hard line on, doing things for the betterment of the kids is not always going to be in what is ethically acceptable here. So I'm excited to see where this goes, because I'm sure there is some type of trouble coming their way for accepting these bribes. But for right now, I think that it's a pretty, it could be kind of a game changer. I'm excited to see where they go with this golf course.
Yeah, I hadn't even considered some trouble coming to them for accepting the bribe. But when you bring it up, you got to remember who just has entered the atmosphere as a new character that probably going to be recurring this season. Warren is here, and he's from HR. So HR finds out that this school is collecting bribes from a golf course. Then I think there could be a little bit something there later on. And so I'm very interested to see how that goes. Gia, I wanted to do a segment, or at least highlight something every episode that we're here. Do you mind going with me on this journey?
Yes, please.
Okay. I want to talk about the funniest child moment of every episode. We always have the kids. And this time it really stuck out to me because we have the podcast club, and they want to know, can Mr. C read? Because he always got us reading aloud, and I don't like that.
And the answer is, we don't know.
We don't
honestly know. At first, when I first heard this, I'm like, that's ridiculous. This is your teacher. But the more we learn about it, the facts are piling up, and they are not in his favor. I screamed at this, and I screamed at Ava just adding on to the rumor that one of her teachers can't read.
Yeah. And completely distracting them from their real question, which is, are Miss Teagues and Mr. Eddie together? Because that's what they wanted to know, but they'll settle for this expose against Jacob and not being able to read. I'm totally okay with this. It definitely made me remember, like, Abbott is so good. I think the cast is amazing, but the kids really do feel like the heart of the show whenever they show them. Yeah, and so this was my funny kid moment of the episode. Did you have another one you wanted to submit?
Oh, that one was really good. We didn't get a ton of kid moments here, and I think part of it is because they're focusing a lot on the Janine Gregory of it all, but also that it was a very staff-heavy episode. The kid getting losing a tooth from a frozen.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was necessarily funny, but it was very dramatic, and he was very nonchalant about losing it. I would not have the strength for that at his age.
Yeah. What did Melissa tell him to do? She just took the tooth and was like, all right, go ahead and do something. Like, I think somebody was like, yeah, it's fine. Like,
it was like put some ice on it or something like that. Like, it was something along the lines of that. But yeah, they, losing teeth happens. It happens quite a lot at school, but they are a bloody mess sometimes.
Yeah, those kids for sure. And then of course Charlie, our new student Charlie gets a nod as well, a diversity nod, if you will. One
of our DEIs. Is he the DEI?
I think he is. Jacob was very happy to see his white family, and not because they're white. Not because they're white, just because he's always happy to see a new student, right?
Yep. No. He is so happy to see a new student come in. And for no other reason, he may be particularly excited about meeting Charlie for the first time.
Exactly. Gia, is there anything else for this episode you want to talk about?
Ooh, I think we covered most of it. I'm so excited for this new season. I think that this was a really strong start to the season. Obviously, everybody is going to be talking about the pending It's Always Sunny crossover episode that will be coming. I think they even announced the episode number, which I think is episode 9. We can expect it. But I am really excited for this start of the season, and I can see they're already using some of the side characters that we know and love. So I have very high hopes for the trajectory of season 4.
Me too. We're back, baby. We're back in it. And so every other week we will be bringing Abbott coverage to Recap Kickback as we have been doing it. You can check out our Abbott Elementary playlist here on YouTube as well. And then, of course, if you find yourself, in the social media streets, let these background characters know that we want to come. They got to come on the podcast, okay? Because we're doing some big things here, and we love being everybody's number one stop for Abbott Elementary content here on YouTube and on your podcasters. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast as well. You can find it at the We Know Abbott podcast, or We Know Abbott Elementary. And then, of course, you can find it on recapkickback.com, recapkickback.com/subscribe. And then follow us on our various social media. Gia, where can the people find you? What you got going on this week, aside from seeing me?
Yes. Yeah, cool. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm planning on doing this week. But you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Classically Gia for all of my reality TV shenanigans. On Silent Podcast, I do weekly recaps of Survivor 47 on my podcast, I Don't Know About That. And I'll also be doing weekly roundups on Inside Survivor about Survivor 47 with my good friend Christine Palin. We may or may not have really enjoyed this episode for very petty reasons. So
very petty reasons.
So, Survivor 47 is back as far as I'm concerned. After a terrible third episode.
Brief cancellation after the third episode for sure.
Brief cancellation. We begrudgingly brought it back, and Queen Genevieve, gave us a little nod. She took our notes and ran with it. However, this week, I am so excited to be going to the RHAP live show in New York City this Wednesday night. I am so excited to see everybody, including Chappell, of course, as well as seeing if Aisha's Karma is still at work in episode 5. So I'll be very excited to see how that turns out. And if you are going there, please say hi. I like having friends.
Yes, please tell Gia hi. Make sure you get a picture with me and Gia if you can. Just let us know you're listening to the podcast. You're a fan. We love to meet y'all. And it's going to be a great week. Also, you can catch me here on Recap Kickback. Mari and I are talking about Black entertainment news every week, recapping different movies and shows. We talked about How to Die Alone on Hulu. Gia, have you watched How to Die Alone?
I have not watched it yet, but just because of how insane my schedule has been, do I need to watch it?
You need to watch it. It's so good.
I will watch it. It's my homework assignment.
Yeah, give me next time we talk. I just even if it's when I see you in person, I just want to update if you've seen the first episode. It's really good. Check it out, and then you of course can check out our recap here on Recap Kickback with me, Mari, and Matt Scott. We did a 2-parter. We talked about the premiere and we talked about the full season as a part of our weekly recaps with our Black entertainment news, and then. In the future, we got spooky season coming up, so there'll be more stuff here to talk about on Recap Kickback. Gia, I wanted to bother you. The Everybody Hates Chris cartoon is out, I think. And
is it really?
I think it's out. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time for me and you to link up. We got to talk about it, of course, obviously, right?
You got to talk about it. I love Everybody Hates Chris. Let me see.
Right. I think the cartoon is out, isn't it?
Animation. Let me see.
Because I saw the trailer, but I'm pretty sure it's soon.
They work fast. Damn.
Yeah. I was I think it's a thing.
Premiere date is late September. That's what it's saying here.
We're overdue, and
God.
We can add Everybody Hates Chris to our Black cartoon bracket when we finally do it. And so I'm just saying.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Can we?
So we got.
What if we do? Okay, so you know how RHAP does a end of year Brant Steele, right?
Yes.
What if we do a version of that with just Black cartoon characters?
Listen, I'm all in. Let's do
Yes.
it.
I
Let's do
wonder
it.
if that's how we do. I love a good bracket, right? But
Yeah,
I also love a Brant Steele, and I feel like that could be quite an ambitious project for us.
I do like that. I like
Yeah.
ambition. Let's do it. Let's add it to
Do
the
we
list
do
of
the
our
Hunger
to-dos.
Games one, or are we gonna do
I was
like
just thinking the Hunger Games one. I was just thinking the Hunger Games one. I
I
was
think
literally like, oh yeah, that's the
'cause
one.
I think Mike and Rob have the Survivor and Big Brother simulators covered, right? So we gotta keep
Yeah.
things fresh a little
Keep
bit.
it
I'm
fresh.
thinking either the Total Drama one or the Hunger Games one. Hunger Games feels kind of right with some of these insane people that we have on these teams.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. Yeah, so
I
stay
can't wait.
tuned. Stay
Oh yes.
tuned. There will be much more from me and Gia. And then you can catch Mari and I talking about Mr. Crockett this week. The demonic children's show host, who happens to be Black. We'll be talking about it on Recap Kickback. So check it out and make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Recap Kickback. And make sure you follow Gia, of course, at Classically Gia, and follow me at Recap Kickback on all social media platforms as well. And then until next time, class is over, but we will be back to talk about more Abbott Elementary in 2 weeks. Bye.
I've been trapped behind Tall Maria, isolated like it's North Korea. Smaller city with some bigger dreams. The wall is cracked, I'm looking in between it. The world is yours, but man, I gotta see it. They say it's hard, but man, I gotta see it. The air I'm breathing can't feel my chest. Wait on life, I wanna hold my breath. I'ma get in my goddamn self.